Hey, it's Melissa. Welcome to my $100,000 stock experiment, year 3, week 42, ending January 29th, 2021. This isn't an endorsement to purchase any stocks that I bought, nor an endorsement to purchase stocks in general. I'm on a mission to become a great growth stock investor, and I'm letting you watch me on my journey. Hopefully you can learn from my mistakes and celebrate my successes. Next week on Monday, February 8th, I'll be speaking at the Wilmington IBD meetup at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope you can join us. According to the IBD at investors.com, the market is in an uptrend under pressure. That means you should be very cautious and thoughtful of your buys, and possibly you want to be tightening up your stops or trimming some of your holdings. The S&P 500 was down 3.3% this week and closed at the 50-day simple moving average. This is not a happy chart. Last week it closed above the 8-day simple moving average. Will the S&P 500 bounce off the 50-day simple moving average or continue to fall? The last area of support and resistance that I marked up was on December 11, 2020 at $3,650. Will 3650 act as support again? I'm starting with my sold stocks this week. I had quite a few sells. You can see up at the top I have 7 sells that all had losses, and then I have 6 sells that had gains. But my total gain for the entire lot is $11,316 that I was able to book profits of that amount. Taiwan Semiconductor, stock symbol TSM. TSM was down 5.9% for the week. On Wednesday, I made an add-on buy, and then my floor triggered for my B1, my B2, and my B3 on Friday, but it didn't trigger for my add-on buy, so I still have that. I call it a remnant stock. My B1 I held for 12 weeks, and I captured a gain of 32%. My B2 I held for 7 weeks and I had a gain of 16.3%, and my B3 I held for just under 4 weeks and I had a 7.4% gain. Roku Inc., stock symbol ROKU. Roku was down 8% this week, and it triggered a floor on Wednesday at the open and all my buys sold. But I did get out of this stock with nice gains. My B1 I held for 11 weeks and I had a 66.8% gain. My B2 I held for 9.5 weeks and I had a 41% gain. And my B3 I held for 7.5 weeks and I had a 33.8% gain. Desktop Metal, stock symbol DM. I made a B2 on Tuesday, and on Wednesday it triggered a floor for both my B1 and my B2. My B1 I held for a week and a half and it was down 6.9%, and my B2 I held for 2 days and it was down 7.8%. IPOE triggered the floor on Monday, and on Friday it had a really nice day. It had volume and it reached an all-time high. I wish I would have bought it back. But I'll watch this and look for areas of tightness that may give me an opportunity to buy again. I held this for the 1 week and I lost just about 8%. PayPal Holdings, stock symbol PYPL. PayPal was down 7% for the week. On Monday, I made a B2, and on Wednesday, everything sold. My floor would have triggered even if I left it at a full 8% floor. My B1 I held for a week and a day, and it was down 5.8%, and my B2 I held for 3 days and I had an 8% loss. I did make some purchases this week. The ones in red have already sold. The biggest purchase was Roku. I made a B1, B2, B3 after it sold earlier in the week. My B3 already sold, just like my Apple B3 sold. And I already showed you my sales in Desktop Metal and PayPal. Every time I purchase a stock, I set a stop limit order 8% below my purchase price as a floor, and then I look for a better price above that floor to set the limit. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing, stock symbol TSM. This is a remnant stock. It's a $4,000 add-on purchase that did not trigger the floor when the rest of the portfolio sold. I don't really want to be holding remnant positions for too long because they take the same amount of effort to manage, but they don't make a big impact on my portfolio. I need to decide how to define too long. I've held this add-on buy for 3 days and it's down 1.9%. Every week I review my charts and see if I can raise my floor. Roku Inc., stock symbol ROKU. The position that I held for a long time sold on Wednesday, and then it started to recover nicely, so I bought it back. I bought a B1, a B2, and a B3 all on the same day, Wednesday, same day that everything sold. My B3 sold on Friday, and my B1 and 2 have losses. I've held my B1 and B2 for 3 days, and they're down 2.7% and 5%. My B3 I also held for 3 days, which it sold for an 8% loss. I did move the floor for the B1 up to 1% below the low of my purchase day, which is 379.76, and then my B2 floor is at 380.96. Nvidia Corp, stock symbol NVDA. Nvidia is down 5.3% this week and is still going sideways. I did raise my floor where a trigger would be a 6% loss. It's at 516.06. I've held Nvidia for 3 weeks and I'm down 5.4%, so that 6% floor is pretty close and might trigger. Apple Inc., stock symbol AAPL. Apple is down 5.1% this week. I made a B3 on Monday that triggered my floor on Friday for an 8% loss. I still have my B1 and my B2, and they're down 2.1% and 4.5% for the 1 week that I've held them. I left the floor for my B2 at the 31-day exponential moving average from the day that I purchased it, which was at 129.13, and then I raised my floor on my B1 to the 50-day simple moving average at 127.46. If both floors trigger, my loss would be just over $900 total for both the B1 and the B2. And I might just go in and sell the stock if the market's not acting well in the upcoming week. Logitech International, stock symbol LOGI. Logitech's up 0.7% this week, and it's my only winning stock this week. On Wednesday, Logitech had a super nice up day, and it had volume. While the price isn't at the high of the week, Logitech did close at the 8-day simple moving average, and it was within the price range of Wednesday, called an inside day. I did raise my floor up to that 16-day simple moving average at 103.38. I've held Logitech for 4 weeks, and it's at 4.8%. If you remember, I like my stocks to be making a minimum of 1% a week, so Logitech is meeting this right now. I like to add to positions as stocks prove themselves, but all my adds this week did not work out. And I also like to be sure to not let a double-digit gain turn into a loss. Tesla Inc., stock symbol TSLA. Tesla was down 6.6% for the week. Earnings did not go well. It dropped below my alert at 8:05, but I didn't do anything with that. I did leave my floor at 758.81, which was my floor on 116. An exit at this point would give me an 80% gain on my B1 in 12 weeks, which is pretty awesome. The floor for my add-on buy is at 769.90. If that floor triggers, I may go in and just sell everything, depending on how the market looks this week. My B1 I've held 11.4 weeks, and it's up 89.1%. My B2 I've held for 10.4 weeks, and it's up 58.3%. And my B3 I've held for 9 weeks, and it's up 37%. I also have the add-on buy that I've held for 1.8 weeks, and it's down 5.2%. My current holding bar chart shows 1 bar for each week or portion of the week that I've held the stock, and this is just on my $10,000 purchase, so you won't see that remnant of TSM on this chart. I can quickly look at this chart and see which stocks are performing well and which stocks have losses. If anything's below that dashed black line, then that $10,000 purchase has a loss. You can quickly see that Apple, Nvidia, and Roku all have losses. Logitech in the purple has a little bit of a gain. Tesla over on the right-hand side in the teal, you can see that that is screaming, making a lot of progress, but it has fallen back since its high the week of January 8th. I also like to look at my current dollar value gain, also on my $10,000 purchase, and sort those with the losers on the top. I want to focus on those losers and get rid of them so they don't get too big and impact my account. I also look at the weekly percentage change and sort those with the losers on the top. The ones in the red box did not beat the S&P 500 for the week. After 2 years and 42 weeks, the benchmark is showing that my $100,000 has grown to $168,436 versus the S&P 500, which has grown to $139,828. You can see that I did have quite a bit of a drop from last week, losing all of my gains from January, basically. The week-to-week change shows the change from last week to this week. This isn't my total gain or loss, it's just the change from last week to this week. My current holdings lost $3,802 from last week to this week. Stocks that I held last week and sold this week lost $5,951, and my new purchases, including the purchases that I sold, lost $2,217. Circled in the bottom in blue, you can see the S&P 500 went down 3.3% for this week, versus the Melissa method on the right-hand side in blue went down 6.6% for the week. I like to double the S&P 500, but not on down weeks, only on up weeks. My experiment year started mid-April, and the S&P 500 for that time frame has grown 33.1%, which is great, versus the Melissa method, which is not so great, has grown 16.4%. The industry and sector breakdown shows that I'm most heavily weighted in cash, followed by auto, telecom, and leisure. Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for my next episode, or better yet, subscribe to my channel, The Melissa Method. Don't forget to hit the bell if you want an alert when I post a new episode.